Welcome to Infinite Truth. This is your host, Sir Patrick Mack. Ladies and gentlemen, we're staring at another pile of Q posts, 30 plus Q posts today. I'm going to do my best to try and get through as many as I can. Post 4044, 45 minutes after the hour of 12. We see this graphic right here. Spygate. Never has a president left office to collude with others to impede the next sitting president of the United States of America until Obama. And the tweet is to the POTUS, who says the Russian hoax is the biggest political scandal in American history. Treason. Let's see how it ends. And that is responding to Kimberly Strassel's tweet, who had written an opinion piece in the Wall Street Journal. The FBI knew Michael Flynn wasn't colluding with Russia, so it plotted to get him to lie. New documents reveal that by the end, the Bureau just wanted a scalp, writes Kim Strassel. Well, we've kind of known that for the last couple days, right? And it looks like a lot of this stuff is starting to pop out. And of course, the media is completely silent about all of this. They're perfectly happy to talk about coronavirus until they're blue in the face, but nobody seems to want to talk about the good general. Well, it looks like with all this coming out, it looks like we're going to get an exoneration. Forget the pardon. The pardon usually comes when somebody's done something wrong and the president pardons, but it looks like we are looking at a complete exoneration. That was what the POTUS also said, and I have a feeling we are going to get some more documents. We're going to talk about this a little bit more in a little bit, so let's move on. Post 4045, 13 minutes after the hour of 1, we get a Twitter status to John Roberts, who says a senior intelligence source tells me that there is an agreement among most of the 17 intelligence agencies that COVID-19 originated in the Wuhan lab. The source stressed that the release is believed to be a mistake and was not intentional. Yes, I'm sure it was a mistake. I'm sure it was also a mistake. This guy, Charles Lieber, who got arrested over there at Harvard, he was getting $50,000 a month from a Chinese university, and he had also gotten another $1.5 million to basically recruit these scientists from China. He was getting a ton of coin, and then of course there was also this Zhaosong Zhang, who got indicted for smuggling a bunch of vials of biological material out of the U.S. to China, and of course then lied to investigators about it. You may remember this story from a couple of months ago. So this was all going on. I'm sure that was just probably a mistake. What national global impact immediately occurs regarding intel assessment? The virus was intentionally released in coordination with classified 1 through 99. How do you prevent a war? Well, I guess you kind of do all this stuff silently, right? Look, if this all comes out, this could easily be considered an act of war. Purposely releasing this stuff to the public could cause a massive global scale war if people really knew. So yes, arresting the bad actors is a big deal, and yes, exposing them, but this is really kind of a touchy subject because, you know, like I said, when you start talking about this biological warfare essentially and calling people out, it would really be very easy to trigger a war just by simply saying that this was intentional, even though it appears to be the case. Think timing. Who benefits the most? Common denominator. Do you believe Biden would admit to sexual assault simply by asking him? Of course not. No. So why do it? And then we have ask in brackets. Do you believe intel community would admit D-class foreign adversary intentionally released COVID-19? No. So why do it? Ask. It looks like we want to ask this question. January 15th, Democrat impeachment articles transfer to Senate. And Q is showing the relationship here between the timing of the impeachment articles and the release of the coronavirus. The first article takes you to the Hill from January 16th. And of course, you remember how this story went. The impeachment didn't go through. But let me take you over to the second link, which is from MVC. Now, this article is from March 6th. Doctor who treated first U.S. coronavirus patient said COVID-19 has been circulating unchecked for weeks. Okay, he was talking about this first patient that came into Seattle, Tacoma. And let me read that part right here because that's the important part. Since the patient landed at Seattle Tacoma International Airport on January 15th from the outbreak's epicenter in Wuhan, China, the virus has spread to at least 75 other people in Washington state. killing 14 in the U.S. so far, 13 in Washington, and 1 in California, according to Johns Hopkins University. Okay, so this was somebody who had come from Wuhan to Seattle, Tacoma, and it spread immediately from there. And if you'll remember, it was this Evergreen Health Center that was reported to be the first epicenter. That's when we first saw that there. Interesting timing indeed, and I'm sure it has no relationship with the articles of impeachment on the same day. Keep in mind, the China trade deal was right around the same exact time. I'm sure that was just a coincidence, but I think what Q is talking about with these brackets here, the ask in brackets, if you'll remember, Mika Brzezinski just did this interview with Joe Biden, and he was talking about these records from the University of Delaware, saying that they would have a record of complaint or something like that. So it was kind of making it look like he was being proactive, but it looks like they were sending somebody over there, likely to cover up records of something else. I have no idea if they have any records of Tara Reade's complaints, but there looks to be something else there, and it looks like the University of Delaware is covering up. But what it does make it look like is that Joe Biden is being proactive, and it was a very similar situation here with COVID-19 in China. They were saying, well, you need to look into this, you need to look into this, basically just projecting to keep you from looking at the original source, which appears to be Wuhan. Let's move on for now. Post 4046, 17 minutes after the hour 1, we get a Twitter status to Q_era. Kara, I guess. I follow hashtag Q because I still believe in goodness, freedom, and peace. I joined Twitter specifically to be part of the cause and join my brothers and sisters to spread the word. No other reason. My voice may be small, but it still counts. Indeed, it does. Q_era. Kara? I think it's Kara. Maybe it's Sarah. I think it's Kara. Anyway, welcome to Twitter, and congrats on getting a shout out from Q. Q says, we are in this together. Patriotism on the rise. Where we go one, we go all. Q. Post 4047, 20 minutes after the hour 1. The Twitter status is to Moon Mama 1290. Hot mess mom. I like that. 7888. She says this.
Where we go one, we go all, worldwide.
Nice. Q says, united we stand. Where we go one, we go all. Q. Post 4048, 30 minutes after the hour 1, we get a link to the San Francisco gate. Q says, op, combat, op. So we got 2 ops and combat in between. They fear you. Massive global reach. Talking about you patriots. You attack those you fear the most for God and country. Now the article is from May 2nd. Initiative seeks to challenge Trump's online megaphone from the San Francisco gate. A new Democratic aligned political action committee advised by retired Army General Stanley McChrystal, the former head of U.S. forces in Afghanistan, is planning to deploy technology originally developed to counter Islamic State propaganda in service of a domestic political goal, to combat online efforts to promote President Donald Trump's handling of the coronavirus pandemic. The group, Defeat Disinfo, will use artificial intelligence and network analysis to map discussion of the president's claims on social media. It will seek to intervene by identifying the most popular counter-narratives and boosting them through a network of more than 3.4 million influencers across the country, in some cases paying users with large followings to take sides against the president. Wow, that's about as sketchy as it gets, but it gets even sketchier. The initiative is run by Curtis Hoagland, who received initial funding for the technology from DARPA, the same people that brought you Facebook, the Pentagon's research arm, as part of an effort to combat extremism overseas. He insists Democrats are ill prepared for the looming battle over information and attention, which is bound to play an outsized role in November. Now let me skip you down a little bit further here. Hoagland's PAC shuns these methods, and they're referring to the use of fake accounts. Yet it differs from more traditional Democratic aligned PACs such as Priorities USA and American Bridge 21st Century in embracing the practice of paying influencers to convey their messaging. The approach raised eyebrows and prompted tech companies to clarify their rules when it was put into practice by Mike Bloomberg's presidential campaign earlier this year. I have no trepidation about paying content creators and seeking out and amplifying the best narratives, Hoagland said. Okay, so there's a picture of McChrystal right there. In the 2000s, he was commander of Joint Special Operations Command, and he was also involved in the capture of Saddam Hussein's forces, as well as the death of Abu Musab al-Zarqawi, who was the leader of al-Qaeda. This was in Iraq. It was also one of McChrystal's units, Task Force 626, that was part of the Abu Ghraib torture and prisoner abuse scandal in 2004. And at that same time, he was under fire for the friendly fire situation of the former Army Ranger and professional football player for the Arizona Cardinals, Pat Tillman. He was part of what was perceived to be the cover-up. Now, I want to read you this little bit from Rolling Stone in 2010 in an article written by freelance journalist Michael Hastings, the runaway general, appearing in Rolling Stone magazine July 8 through 22, 2010. McChrystal and his staff mocked civilian government officials, including Joe Biden, National Security Advisor James L. Jones, U.S. Ambassador to Afghanistan Carl Eikenberry, and Special Representative for Afghanistan and Pakistan Richard Holbrooke. McChrystal was not quoted as being directly critical of the president or the president's policies, but several comments from his aides in the article reflected their perception of McChrystal's disappointment with President Obama on their first two occasions of meeting. According to Rolling Stone, McChrystal's staff was contacted prior to release of the article and did not deny the validity of the article, although senior members of his staff dispute this and have accused Hastings in Army Times of exaggerating the seniority of aides quoted and breaking the off-the-record trust of private conversations between him and the aides. And McChrystal ended up calling Joe Biden to apologize. He was one of the guys that was really pushing for more troops in Afghanistan. So it looks like McChrystal has a few things in his closet. So don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the same guy that was involved in the cover-up of some of this torture in Abu Ghraib and possibly the cover-up of the friendly fire situation with Pat Tillman is on the case for disinformation online. Don't worry, they got it all under control with funding from DARPA. Post 49 minutes after the hour of 1. We get a Twitter status to GongFu_God, House of Kung Fu. What you got to say?
Where we go one, we go all. Ohio.
I'll take it. We see you, Ohio. Where we go one, we go all. Nice on the shout out. Let's move on. Post 4050, 44 minutes after the hour of 1. We get a Twitter status to Jackie Lope, who's speaking a little German here. Hashtag QAnon. Trendet in Deutschland. Ist bei Twitter die Zensur ausgefallen. Oder gab es einen Terroranschlag von German, der Hashtag 8kun in seinem Browser verlauf hat? Trend in Deutschland, QAnon, 75,600 tweets. Don't hate on my German. Don't hate on my German. You were trending worldwide 24/7, 365 with censorship. Never in our history has this been attempted. Where we go one, we go all. Congrats on you, Jackie Lope, for getting a shout out from Q. Post 4051, 52 minutes after the hour of 1. We get a Twitter status to Raw Q Boswin says, we are from Canada. Where we go one, we go all. Seriously. And it looks like they're camping indoors. That's a novel approach. Good looking family right there. Got a few kids. Let's see what they got to say.
We're from Canada. Where we go one, we go all. Seriously, right?
Very nice. Keeping it all in the family right there. Except what's up with Junior Green Stripes there saying, Dada. Dada wasn't on the cue card. Someone tell Green Stripes, Dada wasn't on the cue card. It's a good thing she's cute. Congratulations on your Q shout out. Let's move on. Post 4052, 55 minutes after the hour of 1. We get a Twitter status to Dre, who's not here to play. Let's hear what he has to say.
From Fort Lauderdale, Florida. When we go one, we go all.
Q says, nothing can stop what is coming. Where we go one, we go all. Cheers from Fort Lauderdale, says Dre, and cheers to you, Dre. Post 4053, 58 minutes after the hour 1, we get a Twitter status to Rocks and Herbs, but you can just call her Heather. Hello, Heather. Give the people what they want.
Where we go one, we go all. Maryland.
Fist bump to you, Heather. Where we go one, we go all. Nice on you for the shout out. Cheers to you over there in Maryland. Post 4054, 59 minutes after the hour 1, we get taken back to this tweet here from Dan Scavino. This was on March 8th, where he had tweeted, my next piece is called Nothing Can Stop What Is Coming. And you got the playing the violin right there. This was actually featured in post 3891. POTUS ended up retweeting this 17 hours later, probably just coincidence. But in post 3891, Q had also added rig for red, which means it's a term when subs go to periscope depth in order to adjust your eyes to the darkness. So is something about to surface? Are we going down to periscope depth? Are we rigging for red? Don't know, but my next piece is called Nothing Can Stop What Is Coming. Let's move on. Post 4055, 2 o'clock, we get a Twitter status to Patriotic Pop-Tart, which I'm assuming is red, white, and blue, and freedom flavored. What do you got to say, Patriot?
The Patriots are coming. The Patriots are coming. Where we go one, we go all worldwide. Coming here from Nebraska. Let's do this, guys.
That's what I'm talking about, Cornhusker. Fist bump right here. Where we go one, we go all. Moving on. Post 4056, 1 minute after the hour of 2, we get a Twitter status to Chris. Chris from where? We don't know. We don't know. Look at the dark glasses. Maybe he's an international man of mystery. All right? We don't need to know the location. It's none of our business. Go ahead and say it, Chris.
Where we go one, we go all.
Fair enough. All right. My kind of guy. Gets right to the point. Right to the point. Where we go one, we go all. Post 4057, 2 minutes after the hour at 2. Our Twitter status is to Michael Maga Hill. Not Michael Hill. Not Michael Mega Hill. All right. Michael Maga Hill. And Michael actually watches the show, I believe. So fist bump to you, Michael. Little hand sanitizer on there first. All right. A little show respect. Ain't nobody trying to get Rona. Anyway, say it, Michael. Do it.
Where we go one, we go all. Tennessee.
Yes, nice. And I want to point something out, that although Tennessee is not my favorite state in the union, I'm not hating, I'm just saying, I do want to say I think probably the nicest people I've ever met in the United States were in Tennessee. That's a true story. Really nice people there. And if you are not from the United States and you want to meet really, really nice Americans, go to Tennessee. I'm sure Michael Maga Hill will show you around. I don't want to speak for him. Maybe he won't. Maybe he won't, but he's probably friendly. That's all I'm saying. Let's move on. Post 4058, 3 minutes after the hour at 2. Our Twitter status is to Brian Polizzi. And look how chill Brian is right here. You'll see that he's chill. He ain't got a thing to worry about. Check it out.
Where we go one, we go all. Reno, Nevada.
Cool, like the other side of the pillow. That's how they do it in Reno. That's how they do it in Reno. It's so hot out there, you just gotta chill. Where we go one, we go all. Good on you, Brian. Post 4059, 11 minutes after the hour at 2. We get this picture right here entitled Peace, Power, Spirit, PPS. And the picture is of this young lady outstanding in her field, and the sun is going down. Maybe it's coming up. I think it looks like it's going down. Maybe it's because it's about to go down, and the sun's looking at her like, hey, put your hands where I can see them. And she's like, no, don't shoot. No, I'm just kidding. It looks like one of those medicine ads. You know those medicine ads that you see on TV? The names of the drugs you can't pronounce. You don't even know what it does. If you ask your doctor about hydroxyproxyl may cause sudden death, heart failure, and the inability to keep reading so many Q posts without getting a little bit loopy. Ask your doctor if hydroxyproxyl's right for you. Post 4060, 13 minutes after the hour at 2. The Twitter status is to Lauren, who says, another beautiful day here in Atlanta. And Lauren is here with her boyfriend. And I don't know, maybe it's her husband. I don't know. It's not my business. It's none of my business, okay? But they're wearing matching shirts, and that is my business. The Great Awakening, it says, QAnon. And it's got like the Rolling Stones logo, except on the tongue, you can see the American flag, which means you guys over there in the UK can lick our boots. No, I don't even feel that way. I'm just making a joke, all right? Well, Lauren and husband, boyfriend, whatever, they're all synced up. Check it out.
From Atlanta, Georgia, where we go one, we go all.
Did you see what they did there, Patriots? Did you see that? Lauren and boyfriend, husband, whatever, none of my business, were synced up. Shirts synced up, lines synced up, even their cadence was synced up, okay? They're not wasting our time. They were ready to go. Lines were already memorized, ready to shoot the scene like a couple of pros. Fist bump to you, Lauren, and to your boyfriend, husband, whatever. None of my business, right? 4061, 15 minutes after the hour 2, we get a Twitter status to United We Stand. And this guy out here, I believe, is from Washington. It looks pretty cold out there. This guy looks a little bit like Jussie Smollett, except probably not the kind that's going to punk out and go to Subway at 2 a.m., all right, and get jumped by a gang of white supremacists from Nigeria. No, this is United We Stand. This guy's a patriot. It's a real tough guy. He's out there standing out in the cold, listening to what he's got to say.
What's up, Patriots? Where we go one, we go all. Washington.
That guy should have been on Empire. Seriously, that guy should have been on Empire. I don't know your name, bro, but you're a lot more handsome and you got a cooler voice than Jussie Smollett, right? And you're not a commie, so I would have put you on Empire. Fist bump to you. 4062, 17 minutes after the hour 2, 21717. I know takes you to the status of QAnon John, an unnamed female friend, none of my business, who's creeping over the shoulder there. I don't even know if John knows she's there. Do you know she's there?
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Where we go one, we go all.
Ah, he knew she was there all along. She's the hype guy. I get it now. He gives the call. She chimes in with the response. Now I get it. Well done, QAnon John and female friend. None of my business. Post 4063, 18 minutes after the hour 2, we get a Twitter status to Dan Meyer. And Dan Meyer is a sword guy from Phoenix. I know that because he says he's from Phoenix in his video. But you can also tell because of the saguaro cacti behind him. Yeah, Dan Meyer has been on America's Got Talent. He was a finalist. Looks like he's also in the Guinness Book of World Records, as well as Ripley's Believe It or Not. Fun fact, I think I'm related to Robert Ripley, the guy who started Ripley's Believe It or Not. Yeah, that's true. It's not like I'm getting any of that Ripley coin, okay? And maybe if it turns out that he's Illuminati or something like that, don't come at me down below saying, hey, Patrick, what's up with your Illuminati affiliations? All right? I don't know the guy. I'm not getting any coin. Don't come at me. I'm just trying to talk about Dan Meyer and the swords.
From Phoenix, Arizona, where we go one, we go all.
All right, wait a minute. Was that praying medic in your video? All right, so now you're fancy sword swallowing guy making the rounds on all the shows, going on America's Got Talent. All right, now you're rubbing elbows with celebs. Next thing you know, praying medic's showing up in your video with a cameo like he's freaking Alfred Hitchcock or something. All right. Hey, I think that was from Phoenix. Psycho was from Phoenix, right? Okay, I'm just saying that's a coincidence, probably. Coincidence only. Shout out to you. Shout out to Medic. Whatever. The rest is coincidental. 4064, 18 minutes after the hour 2, we get a Twitter status to, I'm guessing this is Dr. I'm going to say Shanae. Is it Shanna? Shanna E? Shanna? I'm going to say Shanae. Maybe I'll say Shanae. I'm going to say Shanae. Shanae Anderson from Newbury Park, and she got herself a new car. Let her tell you about it.
I just got my brand new car, and the first thing I did was put my Q sticker on. Where we go one, we go all.
First thing she did, Patriots, was stick that on her sweet ride, and it is a sweet ride. Congratulations on your sweet ride, Dr. Shanae. I hope you don't mind me calling you Shanae. I just like to say it. Where we go one, we go all. Sweet ride, sweet sticker, sweet Patriot. Post 4065, 19 minutes after the hour 2, we're changing gears. We're juking it up a little bit, doing a little bit of John Cardillo, John Murder Hornet Cardillo. I'm well aware of the CDC lag times, but this isn't that, so stop with that excuse for these numbers. They've separated out other illnesses that were the actual causes of deaths, and now the mortality rate is half of what it was last week. It's been nothing but a scam, and he attaches this right here. And we talked a little bit about this yesterday. The CDC was walking back a bunch of these numbers, and originally it was supposed to be like 60,000 plus. Now it looks like it's more like 37,000, which of course is nearly half. And of course, like it says at the top, deaths involving coronavirus disease 2019, pneumonia and influenza. Of course, it's flu season, right? It's flu season. So we don't know which ones are actually pneumonia or flu or what. We don't really know how many people are actually getting the Rona. I can tell you who doesn't have it. You know who doesn't have it? This guy. I don't know about you. I'm not judging. But the point is that it looks like these numbers are a lot lower. Looks like a scam to me. Looks like some of these people might have just died of the flu. Could have been pneumonia. Could have been old age. Could have been who knows. Maybe they were taking the hydroxyproxyl. Who knows? Okay? We don't know. That's the whole point. And now the CDC had to walk back their numbers. It's a scam. Q says knowledge is power. Post 4066, 22 minutes after the hour of 2. We're switching it up again. We're back with the Patriots. All right? Stopping on a dime. I can do that. I can play both sides of the court. I'm a two-way player. All right? I may not be an all-star, but I'm a solid journeyman, at least. Twitter status is to Yeg. Never in 350 years have so many men and women from all walks of life come together to make a final stand against pure evil. Patriots worldwide, stand together. We will prevail. Well, thank you for that, Yeg. And they've got their Q patch right there. They've got their yellow vest, and they've got their walkie-talkie. So in case it's ready to go down, they're ready to go down. They're ready to communicate. Dark to light, says Q. Fist bump to you, Yeg. Post 4067, 23 minutes after the hour of 2. The Twitter status was to Great Awakening E, but it looks like they got robbed out of nowhere. It was just about to get out of the park Willie McGee snatches it out of center field. That's a baseball reference right there. I don't know what happened to this tweet. Don't know. It's unavailable. But I'm assuming that by the time I finish this video and get back to surfing on Twitter, it will probably become very apparent. Looks like the social media barons may have knocked it out. Maybe Great Awakening E deleted it. But it sure would suck if you went over there to Great Awakening E on Twitter and clicked follow. You know, since they got robbed, maybe they could come out of this with a few more followers. That's all I'm saying. Sure would suck if you went over there to Great Awakening E's status, gave them a like, gave them a follow. Next thing they know, they got a few more thousand followers, and those social media barons over there could bite me. Where we go one, we go all. How do you like that? Great Awakening E, fist bump to you. Hope you get some new followers. Post 4068, 24 minutes after the hour of 2, the Twitter status is to human. And I don't mean that in a general term, I mean it in a very specific term. This specific human.
Where we go one, we go all. Hamburg, Germany. Let's do this.
Okay then, homeboys from Germany. Well, you're going to appreciate this because I sprechen a little Deutsch too. I don't know if you noticed. I was busting out some sweet German earlier on in this video. All right, maybe you'll appreciate that. Maybe you'll appreciate that. Maybe you won't. We're moving on. Where we go one, we go all. Post 4069, 25 minutes after the hour of 2. The Twitter status is to Jared Dean, who's looking real confident right here. Looking real confident. Let's see what's up.
Where we go one, we go all. Texas.
Okay, Jared Dean, I see you in your swaggy video, showing a little moxie there. Got a little bone to pick with you though, Jared Dean. First of all, you got 2 first names, and everybody knows that people with 2 first names usually end up wildly successful, right? What about that sausage guy, Jimmy Dean, right? How about Dean Martin? You see where I'm going with this? I know another one with 2 first names. How about Patrick Mack? Yeah, that's me. That's me. You showing all this swag in your video, showing all this moxie, even putting your fist up in the air like, what? You want to go? You want to catch these hands? What are you gunning for, middleweight champion of the world there, Jared Dean? Here's what I don't see. I don't see a follow on my page. I don't see a follow on my Twitter. You got moxie. You got swag. I got all kinds of swag. What's up? You and me? What's up? Let's give it a go, Jared Dean. But I respect you, Jared Dean. I respect you. Where we go one, we go all. Fist bump. Let's move on. Post 4070, 26 minutes after the hour of 2. The Twitter status is to deploribus unum. That is Latin for I'm not really trying to take your crap. I'm just kidding. It means out of many, one. Check it out.
Toronto, Canada. Where we go one, we go all.
Nice on you. Toronto, another highly underrated city. Yesterday I was mentioning Milwaukee. Today I'm mentioning Toronto. I found it clean. I found it very pleasant. Great restaurants. Just saying. Where we go one, we go all. Thanks to you, deploribus unum. Post 4071, 27 minutes after the hour of 2. The Twitter status is to Leo Redfish. Not to be confused with Leon Redbone. Or Leo's evil twin, Leo Red Herring. Leo is from Rio. Let's check it out.
From Rio de Janeiro, you are not alone. Where we go one, we go all.
All right, Leo, thank you for your video. You are not alone either. And I noticed that you put your fist up at the end of your video. Maybe you know Jared Dean. I heard Jared Dean's out there looking for smoke. That's what I heard. That's what I heard. Where we go one, we go all. Post 4072, 29 minutes after the hour of 2. Boom. Week ahead. Treason doesn't pay well in the end. All right, well, who knows what the boom is really referring to, right? We've seen all kinds of booms over the last couple of years, and everybody knows that I do not make predictions, although they do call me Mystic Mac. So is a boom going to be in the form of an indictment? Is the CEO going to step down and it's not really going to be much of a boom? Is there going to be some literal booms? I have no idea. You can let me know down below. But Q is saying that it's a boom week ahead. Does this have to do with the Michael Flynn case? Is Michael Flynn going to be exonerated? That would be a boom. Is somebody going to be indicted? That would be a boom. Is somebody going to find out that Bill Gates was propagating Rona all over the world? That would be a pretty sweet little boom, wouldn't it? I don't know what the boom's going to be because I don't make predictions, but they do call me Mystic Mac. So tell that to Jared Dean, all right? With the 2 first names. Post 4073, 17 minutes after the hour of 4. Q's juking again. Juking back to the news. Although I was ready this time, okay? Can't juke me twice. Takes you to the Washington Times. Coronavirus hype, biggest political hoax in history. The new coronavirus is real. The response to the coronavirus is hyped. And in time, this hype will be revealed as politically hoaxed. In fact, COVID-19 will go down as one of the political world's biggest, most shamefully overblown, overhyped, overly and irrationally inflated and outright deceptively flawed responses to a health matter in American history, one that was carried largely on the lips of medical professionals who have no business running a national economy or government. Yeah, how much we've really learned from some of this. And I have to say that if there's anything that I do hope the general public will realize is that we don't need these unelected officials running all this kind of stuff. We don't need all of these world government organizations telling us what we need to take, what we need to do, how we need to respond. The facts are this: COVID-19 is a real disease that sickens some, proves fatal to others, mostly the elderly, and does nothing to the vast majority. Yeah, and how funny, right? It's almost like one of those boomer removers, right? And I think that's what's really disgusting about this whole thing, is that this is politically motivated, not just to kill people, but to kill basically this our elderly. And a lot of our elderly tend to be conservative. Not that it should be all about politics, but it's oddly convenient, isn't it? And it's quite disgusting, and it's about time that we deal with it. Look at me getting all pumped up. Let me take you down a little further, cool off a little bit. The scientists leading the coronavirus shutdown charge predicted in March that in America between 100,000 and 250,000 would die. They based those estimates on computer modeling. But at the same time, they were basing those estimates on computer modeling. They were acknowledging that computer modeling is inaccurate and errs on the side of hype. Exactly. All this computer modeling crap doesn't really carry much weight these days, does it? I've never seen a model of the diseases I've dealt with where the worst case actually came out, said fake Anthony Fauci, director of the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases and a member of President Donald Trump's White House Coronavirus Task Force during a CNN interview in March. They always overshoot. Catch that? Fauci's message. Computer models are flawed and inaccurate and always overestimate the problem. So they go on to talk about some of these stories, talking about how people who have had to diagnose other things, and then when if this person dies, if and when they die, they have to actually list the actual cause as being related to COVID-19. It's all this massive scam, and that's exactly what this article is talking about. I think many of you who follow this channel already realize that, and I think more and more people are starting to realize this, especially when they start watching people go outside and not get the Rona. Post 4074, 22 minutes after the hour of 4. No comment from Q, just this meme right here with James. Looks like he's lost his homie, Comey. We never thought she'd lose. Looking for handouts with this blue Skechers. How about that? So that's all it has to say right there. I imagine there's probably something in that JPEG that I will have to look at or look to see what you guys found on Twitter later. But there you go. Moving on. Post 4075, 42 minutes after the hour of 4. The Twitter status is to Bill Mitchell, who says, I tried to tell them, but they wouldn't listen. There it is. CDC equates coronavirus hospitalizations to seasonal flu and finally admits it's much less dangerous for children. Whap, 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 whap. Bill Mitchell's link takes you to the Gateway Pundit. There it is. CDC equates coronavirus hospitalizations, what we just read. In late February, nearly a month after President Trump banned travel from China to the United States in January, the CDC terrorized Americans by claiming the Wuhan coronavirus had a mortality rate of 2.3% at its epicenter. The CDC compared the coronavirus mortality rate of 2.3% to the seasonal flu mortality rate of 0.1%. 2 weeks later, WHO leader Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus, otherwise known as Tedros ad hominem Ghebreyesus, sparked a global panic when he claimed the COVID-19 had a 3.4% mortality rate, and then compared that number to the annual estimated seasonal flu mortality rate of 0.1%. These irresponsible and completely inaccurate statements, led to the greatest economic crash since the Great Depression. Think about that. The greatest economic crash since the Great Depression, and I know a lot of us are going through it right now, and that should be the real thing that's going to stick with the average American, because I don't really think it matters what your politics are at this point when this comes out, that this was all a lie from these knucklehead globalist organizations. It is going to wake a lot of folks up. And when you can imagine millions upon millions doing the same thing that we've been doing here on channels like this and with the Qmap, the whole Q movement for the last few years, when you start to see millions upon millions realizing, wait a minute, you shut us in our homes so that you could lie about the flu, I think you get what's going to happen. And it's going to be a big awakening. It's going to be freaking biblical. All right. Tell that to Jared Dean. Tell Jared to stay ready. Post 4076, 34 minutes after the hour of 5. What would have happened if POTUS challenged the COVID-19 narrative from the beginning? Well, it would have looked terrible, right? It would have been a PR nightmare. Even if we would have believed him, nobody believes what we believe anyway, right? We're supposed to be the cultists. We're supposed to be the ones that are licking this guy's boots, and we just think he can't do any wrong, right? The fact of the matter is that we're just logical, and we understood that, but the rest of the world did not. It would have been a worldwide PR nightmare. Sometimes you can't tell the public the truth. You must show them. Yeah, why debate and do all this political knuckleheadedry that we already know doesn't work? You got to trot Fauci out there and let him fail on his own. And that's exactly what happened. And along the way, we exposed him, right? Article after article, we were pulling things out. People are geniuses. And we're able to expose that to people. They share that with their friends. People are waking up. You got to show them who benefits the most. Why are Democrats solely focused on closure, retaining, and vote by mail? Because this spares them the debates, this spares them any kind of political opposition, and it allows them to fudge the votes because you sent it in by mail. And it keeps you in fear. It keeps you hating President Trump because the longer you are in your house, the more angry you are about the economy, right? We're already angry, and that's why this is going to be a massive tidal wave when everybody figures out that it's fake and you and I don't got the Rona. Maybe you got flu, maybe you got something like that, but I bet it's not Rona. They don't care about your well-being. You are simply in the way. This is about regaining power, self-preservation, every asset deployed, win by any means necessary, win or die. Yeah, it's a big deal, Patriots. It's a really big deal because this is going to wake people up to something that is so far beyond politics that it won't really matter. Everybody cares about their family. Everybody wants to be able to feed their family. Everybody wants to take care of their own health and get out and do what they want to do. That has nothing to do with politics. And when they realize that, and when they realize these knucklehead groups got in our way of being able to achieve that, things will change. Oh, I'm pumped today. 4077, 16 minutes after the hour of 10, there's Rod Serling. Not Sterling, Serling. Imagine, if you will, a world where people believe that the temperature of the planet can be controlled by giving more money to the government. Yeah, people are waking up to that scam, right? The Twitter link takes you to Deanna Lorraine, who's running for Congress. When the left says believe science, just remember that their climate expert is Greta Thunberg. Yeah, how dare you, Deanna? How dare you? You have ruined my childhood. You've ruined my dreams. The world is waking up. We get it. You're waking up. I'm waking up. We're waking up our neighbors. Everybody's getting all woke, all super woke. And I'm so woke, I'm done with these Q posts. I'm getting out of here. I'm Sir Patrick Mack. Hope you liked the video. If you did, click like, share, and subscribe. All my links are down below. All that good stuff. If you got information for me, please email me. Don't DM me. I don't do that. Don't DM me. I don't do that. Don't DM me, please. I don't do that, but I do email, and that's down below. My Patreon's down below if you want to support the channel. My P.O. Box is down below if you want to send me something old school. You know what to do. This is Sir Patrick Mack. Until next time, stay focused.